Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Let me start with the prayers. Om Agnan Timrandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Haripriye वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna everyone. It's been great experience associating with you all, and I want to thank Lal Prabhuji for being light in the dark. And also, Lal Prabhuji, your lectures are really impactful and it brings a lot of change in my life, Prabhuji. My gratitude towards you always. And the ideal gift that I can offer you is like commitment towards devotion and also following your instructions like a menial servant. I wonder listening about scriptures or going through Prabhupada books gives me immense happiness and my soul is really sanctified. Best thing that I have done in my life is following the Krishna conscious path. And the moment I chant Hare Krishna, I feel so blissful and energetic. I feel glad to be on this path. And now I'm going to share my experience, like how my journey has been went through, and currently what I'm experiencing through, and what are the activities that I'm involved with, and making my life blissful. Coming to the walkthrough of my journey, which impacted my bhakti, is like first thing when I attended one of the session in Baltimore. Uh, I have found one of the mentor who is Gopijana Priyadasi Mataji, and she's the one who talked with me and guided like after listening to my problem or something, she guided like you can go start chanting, and she has gifted me chanting but and she instructed me to do how to do chanting and all those things. Then I felt like someone who is caring about our problems or making guidance to us, and there I started believing in ISKCON people or ISKCON mentors. It is how it started, and then I had got the chance from there Baltimore only. I visited Gita Nagari farms and had wonderful association with devotees. Then there I have met like-minded individuals, and I have talked with them, and I made my life happier in those 2 days of Gita Nagari visit. And also from then, also try to listen to Bhagavad Gita by Pranvandas Prabhuji in YouTube. And I had learned the essence of scriptures, and then I felt interest towards scriptures, and that made me more interested towards coming to temple regularly during the Sunday feast event. And I have also involved in service activities during the Sunday feast, and also visited to temple on auspicious days, and made my soul sanctified and made myself happy. And also I have tried to chant minimum 5 rounds. It was instructed by my instructor, and it's like associating with devotees and making my life peaceful. And I also listen to Kirtan during Sunday feast, and which gives me so much of energy and which gives me happiness. And I have joined Prabhupada reading sessions organized by my instructor and learned the essence of reading Prabhupada books. And also, I have attended youth Bhagavad Gita classes hosted by Nadia Kishore Das Prabhuji and Sachipran Prabhuji at St. Louis ISKCON Temple. And I also got the opportunity of attending house programs. And recently, I had participated and been involved in 5 chanting sessions guided by Divya Mataji. And I'm thankful to the Mataji for suggesting me to join and get involved. And Santa Mataji helped me in waking up, and this is how I started being associating with you all, and this is the great thing that I have done as of now. And I have started listening to Lal Prabhu's lectures, and that knowledge really making me so much impactful, and it is making me more inclined towards reading books or getting knowledge and how to make the purpose of the life to be fulfilled. And I have learned Narsimharti. earlier in the beginning, I couldn't read it properly, but now I could say Narsimharti without seeing, which gives me immense happiness when I'm doing that prayer to Narsimha at the temple. And also sometimes when I feel low or kind of thing, then I try to get that prayer and make myself happy. And also recently, Pranavanandas Prabhuji has started Bhagavad Gita lectures, and nearly 5 lakh to 5 lakh people has been joining during the online sessions. And I also got chance to go to the Bhagavad Gita chapters very detailed, and that knowledge made me blissful. And this is the walkthrough of my journey, which is making my bhakti somewhat impactful and making my soul sanctified. And coming to the next thing I want to here specify is like, why should one follow Krishna consciousness? Uh, Let me have the sloka. Labdva sudurlabam idam bahu sambhavanthe manusyam ardadam anitya apiha dhiraha turnam yatetana patet anumrityu yava yavan nishreyasya visaya kalu sarvatasyat. Uh, After many, many births and deaths, one achieves the rare human form of life, which, although temporary, affords one the opportunity to attain the highest perfection. Thus, a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life as long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died. After all, sense gratification is available even in the most abominable species of life, whereas Krishna consciousness is possible only for a human being. Uh, this is the sloka and sloka's meaning. I want to emphasize here like uh, there are many species, and only to follow this Krishna conscious path, human being is eligible. So I want to say like, if someone asks like why you are in this path or something, then we can say like the purpose of life or this Krishna consciousness path is only I mean, only human beings can follow this path. No other animals or other species couldn't be able to do this. And we all know like there are eating, sleeping, mating, defending, all these things every other species can do, even human beings can do. There is no difference between those activities performed by human beings or other species. But the only thing that we can do apart from this, like following the Krishna consciousness path and offering our devotional service or spiritual activities towards the Supreme Lord, make our life purposeful. That is things. Also, as Lal Babuji has started the reading challenges thing, as part of the reading, apart from reading, I thought like I have got an interest towards learning slokas. And the two slokas I have read as part of this journey, I have read and learned is like, let me recite those slokas. Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Gaurat Vishay Namaha. The meaning of this is like, oh, most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributed to pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. We all know about Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here in this sloka, it emphasizes like Krishna is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different than Krishna. He's having Krishna is having the black color appearance, whereas Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is having the golden color appearance. And golden color appearance, which is the color of Srimati Radharani. And how the Krishna distributes love, even Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also distributing that much love. So the sloka emphasizes the Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's potency, which is similar to that of Krishna. That is what I want to focus here. And next sloka that I have learned during this journey is like, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mat bhaktim labate param. The meaning for this is like, one situated in this transcendental Brahman realization becomes mentally serene, neither grieving nor desiring, being equitably disposed towards all living beings, such as yogi attains supreme devotion unto me. Here, the focus, I mean, the meaning of this is like a spiritual person or the Krishna conscious person shouldn't find any difference between a rich person or a poor person, or a person who is very highly devotional or who is not practicing any conscious Krishna consciousness journey or all these kind of thing. A person who is focused by being devotional should treat both of the persons. Like if there is some fat person, thin person, or a tall person or a short person, all these differences a Krishna conscious person or a spiritual person couldn't identify them, and everyone they needs to treat everyone as equally. This is how the emphasis on the sloka is there. Mm. And coming to the next thing that I want to emphasize is like, uh, um, in the recent lectures, Lord Prabhupada has mentioned like how surrender helps a person on on his or her spiritual journey. God, what he needs is like our surrendering towards him, which is called Śaraṇāgati. I want to recite a sloka on this. Tam eva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharatha tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsayasi shashvatam. Surrender exclusively unto him with your whole being, O Bharat. By his grace, you will attain perfect peace and eternal abode. Uh, Here, the meaning is like, even though God gives you several problems or more happiness, you shouldn't be more excited about your happiness, and you shouldn't get down during your sadness. If you treat them equally and understand the fact that it is all by the grace of God and there is no involvement that you had done, like it is not your thing or your credit, but instead, if you give the credit to God and surrender to him, that gives you eternal peace and also eternal abode. This is how like surrender is very much important, and this was really nicely explained by Lal Prabhuji, and that impacted me a lot. And during the problems, I mean, when life gives you problems, we shouldn't go down. Then if we trust Krishna, definitely he'll give the solution to the problems that he has also given. But the thing, like, Krishna tests our patience, whether we are consistent on our spiritual journey or not, whether we are breaking from it, or whether we are trusting him and continuing the journey and practicing the spiritual practices that we are currently involved, and making it on a consistent way. And this is how the importance of surrender is there in the spiritual path. And coming to discuss about one of the important aspect of surrendering to God, if we become to give up the pride of having surrendered, proud of the good deeds that we have done, the pride dirties our heart and undoes the good we have done. That means if one shouldn't feel proud about their deeds, like if they have done some spiritual practices in a consistent way for 1 to 2 months, if they feel like they have done so much, and they'll start losing that consistency, and they'll start to downfall. Instead, they should have that gratitude towards God. Thank you, God, for making me consistent in following my spiritual practices. Then they'll be on that journey in a consistent manner. So here it is emphasizing, like, the phrase emphasizes is like, if we do something good and if we feel proud about it, then that is of no use. Instead, if we have that feeling, that is our mind, and we start to fall down. We shouldn't feel proud about it. That is why it is important to keep an attitude of humbleness. If I was able to do something nice, it was only because God inspired my intellect in the right direction. Left to myself, I would never have been able to do it. To keep such an attitude of humility is the important aspect of surrender. I think I have explained the essence of this. Let us go to the next thing. Okay. Next thing that I want to focus is like how much bhakti we need to have on our spiritual journey. Uh, Coming to this, there is no like this exact thing like we need to perform. It varies from one person to person. If you want to go in detail, it depends from previous birth. It carries like, we know, like if we perform bhakti in this life, this have an account for the next life, and if you perform consistently, that would be adding to the next life. This is how like spiritual path helps us even from life to life transfer. Uh, we all, I think, know about this. And coming to the next point, if one surrender and offer services unto me, then Krishna would be taking care of them. What we need to do is like from the Bhagavad Gita, rather than giving up the work in devotion should be followed. Remember Krishna in whatever action we perform. And also with love, if we can offer water, flower, or fruit, Krishna sees only our devotion, but not how much we have offered. I want to recite a sloka on this like Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo Me Bhaktya Prayachati. Tadaham Bhaktyu Prahritam Ashnami Prayatatmanaha. Like if one has offered me some flower, fruit, or flower, fruit, or water, then Krishna can understand our devotion towards him and he would be taking care of us. This is what the emphasis in this sloka. What I have realized as part of this journey is like part of like self-realization. Being on spiritual path is like having a second birth. When God really likes us, He blesses us with Guru and associated us with devotees of like-mindedness. Also, I want to say an analogy with regards to Krishna mercy on us. If we follow the spiritual path and do be consistent on our journey, when a fire is burnt, Krishna also brings someone in the form of water to put off the fire and helps us to come out of that situation. Also, by giving us problems, and Krishna tries to make us depend on himself and be on the spiritual. This is how like I have understood through my experience, and I have quoted few lines. And also I have liked the thing like which was explained in one of the Bhagavad Gita classes. God, don't tell God like how many problems you have. Instead, tell your problems how bigger your God is. Because Supreme God, we all know like how what we say. He's everywhere, Sarvantaryami. If he tries to give us or bless us, he can do it, but he will test us and then he will provide. Then only we can know the importance of what he has given and we'll try to safeguard them and use them in the right way. Otherwise, we would not be knowing those things and we'd be misusing. That is what Krishna's power I understood. And I want to add a few things like the six situations which are favorable for the execution of pure devotional service. One should be very enthusiastic, and one should be endeavoring with confidence. One should be patient, and also one should act according to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. One should avoid the association of non-devotees and following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These six principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. These things I have read from the book from Nectar of Instructions during the reading challenge. I like these points I have included in my presentation. If I want to emphasize one more time, one should be enthusiastic, one should endeavor with confidence, one should be patient, and also one should one should act according to the regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. Abandoning association of non-devotees and following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These six principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. We have discussed like what are the favorable, but we should also know like what things spoil our devotional service. So we should be careful about that. And let me tell you the six things that one devotional service can be spoiled. Eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically, associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, being greedy for mundane achievements. These things, if one follow, the devotional service gradually comes down or it can be spoiled all at a time. So one should be very careful about involving in such kind of things. And also during Rumpaat Swami sections, I have understood about felt interest towards knowing about Goswami thing because when Maharaj asked me about 6 Goswamis. I'm not able to answer. Then I felt like I need to know about those things. That made me interest towards learning like how the 6 Goswamis are there in the scriptures. Coming to the Goswami, to know the meaning, Go means senses, Swami means controller. uh, One who have the controlling capacity towards senses is called as Goswami, and there is exactly opposite for this Goswami, which is Go Dasa. Go means senses, as I mentioned earlier, and Dasa means servant. So one who is listened by the senses, they are called Go Dasa. Uh, these are like Goswami and Godasa, and I want to mention the 6 Goswamis here because they have done a lot. Like they are servants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they have written so many nice books. And we need to remember their names. That gives us some good karma. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami. These all 6 Goswamis forms the famous transcendental group. The 6 Goswamis are of Vrindavan, and they have various they have written various nice books, and they have different nice history. If we go through them, that would be a good thing for us to have. Let's see. Mm. Also, something I liked here is like in the Shastra, it is said that all types of rotative workers, he who is advanced in knowledge of the higher values of life, is favored by the Supreme Lord Hari. Out of many such people who are advanced in knowledge, Gnan is one who is practically liberated by virtue of his knowledge may take to devotional service. He is superior to the others. However, one who has actually attained prema, pure love of Krishna, is superior to him. The gopis are exalted above all the advanced devotees because they are always totally dependent upon Sri Krishna, the transcendental cowhead boy. Among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Krishna. This thing I have mentioned here because recently in our group, Lal Prabhuji asked like how the sequence should be there, like Guru, and how we can reach out to Krishna in the best, easiest way. We all know that if we made a request to Srimati Radharani, then never what we say, we'll be getting the quick help from Krishna. So I have tried to do it here. And as part of the Nectar instructions book I have read, I have um, written something here which is nice. Maybe you can also enjoy. Song by the Gopis. Dear Krishna, actually we have become very lusty, having been touched by your lotus feet. Your lotus feet certainly kill all kinds of sinful activities of devotees who have taken shelter there. You are so kind that even the ordinary animals take shelter under your lotus feet. Your lotus feet are also the residence of the goddess of fortune, yet you danced on the heads of the Kaliya serpent with them. Now we are requesting you to kindly place your lotus feet on our breasts and pacify our less desires to touch you. Uh, so, when Krishna went from Vrindavan to Mathura, the gopis were very much sad about Krishna leaving them, and they are missing Krishna so much. So, in this particular chapter, they have written like how much they are missing Krishna and in what way they are pleasing Krishna to come back to them and make them happy. There are several other things which have written as part of thing, but because of short of time, I have emphasized like how we need to surrender onto the lotus feet of Krishna. We know like we all as devotees, we all look for a small place under his lotus feet. And this is how gopis who are very much prominent, they have requested for Krishna to come back to them and make their life merciful. That's it. And to conclude, I want to mention like being consistent on spiritual practices will be helping us to connect to the Supreme Krishna, Supreme Lord Krishna, and following the instructions of Guru helps us to progress. Serving devotees or honoring devotees is a great opportunity, and one should utilize that. And doing minimum 16 rounds of chanting and following the four regulative principles and deity worship helps us to strengthen our belief in Lord, and our connection towards Lord increases. And reading Prabhupada books helps us to increase our awareness and do things in the best possible way without any appliances. Uh, and also the one thing, out of many things, the one thing which I like to do it every second, like whenever I feel low, is like to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which gives me so much of energy when I'm low or when I'm sad. Even in happiness, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Also, when I'm going through some things, like I listen this and I liked it very much, and I thought I can write here. No tension, no drama, only Hare Krishna. That's it. Ending up here. Thank you very much, devotees, for giving me opportunity. And if there is anything mistake or something, if I have done any wrong code, please excuse me. And thank you very much for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful presentation, Mataji. Like your journey is very beautiful and inspiring. And one thing I would like to share is a temple is close to universities, right? So we see so many students coming to temple every Sunday, but among all of them, only few they get connected to ISKCON, and you are one of them, like who took up Krishna conscious very seriously from day one. So that's very beautiful, Mataji. I just only hope and pray that you stay connected to ISKCON and Krishna consciousness and inspire many youth students like you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Any other devotees would like to share your thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji. It's a very nice sharing. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji. I thought, okay, we have to give just 5 or 10 minutes lecture or something like that. But the way you prepared and the way you gave so much information, you put me in a very difficult situation now. Initially, I thought, okay, I can give read a little bit, but you prepared a lot, and even your experience in even though it's very short period of time, you, you did so much things. I just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Lal Gopal Prabhuji. Would you like to add something, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, thank you. Looks like my years of Krishna consciousness, I have tried to understand and learn and practice has been summarized in the last few minutes by Lakshmi. I don't think she missed out anything. It looks like she covered from top to bottom of different angles and many, many subjects and topics in Krishna consciousness. And she's, her sincerity is really an attraction. As you said, out of hundreds of students who come, she is special, definitely a very special soul. We pray that she grows further, deeper and deeper into Krishna consciousness. Take a shelter of a guru and make this very life successful. Thank you for doing this one. It's a genuine presentation. It's very nice. Thank you. And keep doing more.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
I think
Krishna.
if no one has anything Do we need to be on the video, Mataji, or
Yes,
It,
Prabhu.
it
okay?
been have your video on. Already you look
Yes,
very smart when you turn on the video.
Nothing like that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. I'm really sorry. Hare Krishna. I didn't prepare the way like Lakshmi Mataji was preparing. Like, I thought, okay, just like, we need to give a 5 or 10 minutes presentation or something like that. So I was not prepared. So I'm really sorry for that. The like, initially, like I wanted to give like, different topic, but I'll probably told like, in like what you're reading in the last couple of days, like, try to uh, give something on that one. So I thought, okay, let's start, because last couple of days I was reading Sri Isopanishad. So I thought, okay, I can talk like, couple of points on that one. So it's basically like an introduction to the Sri Isopanishad. It was a lecture delivered by Swami Prabhupada in London. So okay, I thought, okay, that will be good for like, the initial starting point for this presentation. So basically, like, it's a teaching of Vedas. The Isopanishad, it's basically a teaching of Vedas. Like, what are Vedas? The Vedas is basically like, Veda means like a knowledge. Any knowledge you accept is Vedas, but they are mainly concentrate about the original knowledge. Everybody has like different knowledge, right? But this one really talks about the original knowledge, the transcendental knowledge. We have like two types of soul. Like we have a two state, like conditioned state and the transcendental state, right? So with the conditioned state, it's very hard to accept this knowledge, because like, the conditioned state has like a different 4 kinds of defects they are talking about. So every like, the first defect is like, we always make mistakes, whether it is like, normal person, or like, like great soul, or like, great persons. Everybody makes mistakes. So with this defect, it's very hard to understand this uh, the great knowledge, like the transcendental knowledge, because you cannot, you always like, it's very hard to understand. At the same time, like, you'll have like a lot of questions on that one. Then another defect they're talking about is like Maya. So Maya means like what is not. So it's it is a kind of like it is an illusion. So the third defect they're talking about here is a cheating propensity. Everyone has the propensity to cheat others. So the last one they're talking about is our senses. It's very, very imperfect. So with this, all these 4 defects, it's very hard to understand this knowledge. So the Vedas is completely talking about the Vedas are like knowledge, but with these defects, very hard to understand. So basically, what we need to do is we need to accept as it is in this Veda. Then in Vedas, the follower of the Vedas, this, like, we call it as a Hindus. We are not Hindus. It is like just a foreign name. Our real identification is like Varnasrama. Varnasrama is like a 4. It's 8 divisions of Varnasrama. They are talking about the 4 divisions of society and 4 divisions of spiritual life. This is called Varna Ashrama. These divisions are everywhere, and it is created by the God. So the 4 divisions they are talking about is Kshatriya, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. The Brahmana is like very intelligent people, and Kshatriya is like administrative group, and Vaishya is like the merchant group, and the last one is the Sudra. So the Vedas, it's not the compilation of the human knowledge. It is like a Vedic knowledge. It comes from the spiritual world, that is directly from the God. It has another name called like it's like a Shruti. Shruti refers to the knowledge which is acquired by hearing. So this knowledge, initially, this knowledge comes from the topmost people. Like by hearing that knowledge, everyone understand. Like in the previous yuga, and people are like so intelligent. Even if you hear something from the people easily grasp the knowledge, and they follow it. So the Shruti is like considered to be like a mother. We take like so much knowledge from mother. Suppose if you want to know like who is your father, the mother has to tell like this is my father. You cannot experiment. Okay, this is my real father, or is my mother is like talking correct or not, all those things. You cannot do all this experiment like this. Like Vedas, that knowledge, it's coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like you have to accept as it is. Don't do experiment, and don't waste your time reading like so many books, and like following like so many different paths, and like don't waste the time. It is like we have like very limited time in this life. Just accept it and move on. So that's what they are saying here. The Vedas are considered to be a mother, and Brahma is called the grandfather. That Vedic knowledge is instructed to Brahma in the he was the first living creature. That Vedic knowledge is imparted to Narada and other disciples and other the great acharyas. Like this, the Vedas are distributed in the disciplic succession. So you have to understand the Vedic knowledge in this way. So if you make experimental things, you can do it, but at the end of the day, like you will come to this conclusion only. By the time, you'd have wasted like so much time by analyzing all these things, because this Veda is coming from like God to all the disciplic succession. So basically, we have to accept these Vedas, this knowledge, and move on. So it is coming from the perfect authority. So you have to accept without this argument. Then they're talking about like three kind of evidence: pratyaksha, anumana, and asabda. Pratyaksha means direct evidence. Direct evidence is not at all very good, because our senses are not perfect. So he gave an example, if we are seeing the sun daily with your naked eye, like it says like in a small disk. But if you think okay, the sun is like very small, from your direct evidence, that's not correct. So you have to, but it's very, it's very, very far. It's larger than the other planets. So the value you are seeing is you cannot understand it. So you have to read the books, understand about the Veda, sun. So the direct experience is not at all perfect. The second one they're talking about is anumana, inductive knowledge. It's basically hypothesis, okay, it might be like this. Okay, this is how it was created. This is how it's it would have came. This is how it reached. So that that theory also, it's not perfect. So the ultimate thing is they are saying don't make an experiment. Just the knowledge is coming from the authoritative sources. So this Veda, the knowledge is called Sapta Pramana. Another name is Shruti. Shruti means knowledge has to be received simply by oral reception. The Vedas are instructed in order to understand that the transcendental knowledge. We have to hear from the authority. The transcendental knowledge is beyond from this universe. Within this universe, the material knowledge, and beyond this universe is a transcendental knowledge. We cannot even go to that the end of the universe. How will we understand the spiritual world? So to to acquire this full knowledge is like very, very impossible. It is the nature is beyond our manifestation and non-manifestation. Therefore, to understand all these things, you have to take the assistance of the Vedas. This is called like a Vedic knowledge. In our Krishna conscious movement, we are accepting this knowledge from the highest authority, Krishna. Krishna is our like highest authority. From him only, like all the disciplic suction comes. So we are even though we are not able to get the knowledge from Krishna directly, we have like a spiritual master. They are coming in that spiritual path, like the disciplic succession, so we can accept it. So here they are talking about the first two classes of transcendentalists. One class of transcendentalists called like impersonalistic Mayavadi. They are generally known as Vedantis, led by Śaraṇāgati. The another class of transcendentalists called Vaishnavas. There are like two different type here talking about Śaraṇāgati and Vaishnava. The Vaishnava is like Ramanacharya and Madhavacharya, Vishnu Swami. Both Sankara Sampradaya and Vaishnava Sampradaya have accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Śaraṇāgati is supposed to be an impersonalist who preached impersonalism, impersonal Brahman. But it is fact that he is a covered personalist. In his commentary of Bhagavad Gita, he wrote, Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is beyond this cosmic manifestation. And then again he confirmed the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, is Krishna. He has come as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. He particularly mentioned the names of his father and mother. So Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by all the transcendentalists. There is no doubt about it. So our source is knowledge in Krishna consciousness is Bhagavad Gita, which comes directly from Krishna. We know that. So we have the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, like basically we accept the Krishna as he is speaking, without any interpretation, without any modification. It's a pure Vedic knowledge. Then this pure Vedic knowledge, we accept it. Whatever Krishna says, we accept it. That is Krishna consciousness. That saves much time. So, like the ultimate thing what they are talking about is like even though like there are like so many different philosophies, different gurus and different books, if you read all those things, it's very hard to within this short life period, it's very hard to understand, or like sometimes it mislead into like in a different direction. So don't do all this experiment. Just like accept this knowledge from like the disciplic succession and move on. Yeah. So when it comes to the spiritual master, right? Like so, even though it is a disciplic succession, how do we understand that one? Like the spiritual master has to have some qualities, because like when the message is coming from from one people to another, there is a very high chance it might get little deviated from the original knowledge. So we have to find the perfect bona fide spiritual master to understand this concept. Like in nowadays, like there are like a lot of spiritual master in different followers, and people got into like some wrong things and misguided and misled, and like it's so many things are going on. So we have to be very careful in accept like finding the right spiritual master and get this perfect knowledge. So in this case, like, the Krishna conscious movement is like completely authorized from the Vedic principles. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the actual aim of this Vedic research is to find out Krishna. Even in Brahma Samhita also stated that Krishna Govinda has innumerable forms, but they are all one. They are not like our forms, which are fallible. His form is infallible. He mentioned like my form has a beginning, but his form like he mentioned like his form has no beginning. It is Ananda. So many multiple forms. He has no end. Because like he's sitting like in Goloka, at the same time he is like pervaded everywhere. Pervaded everywhere. He is original. Like here, like there's you can see like in most of the pictures, Krishna is like like very young, 15 years old person, but we never find like Krishna is like the very old man picture or something like that. So at the same time, he was not less than 100 years old. He had great children. He looked like a boy. God never becomes old. This is his power. And if you want to reach, if you want to search out Krishna by studying the Vedic literature, it may be possible, but it's very difficult. But you can very easily learn about him from his devotee. That is the potency of Krishna devotee. So here they are talking about originally there was only one Veda. There was no necessity of reading that Veda. People are so intelligent and has very good memories just by hearing from their master, the spiritual master, they can easily understand. They got the whole knowledge. But in Kali Yuga, like people have like very less intelligent and they didn't have that much memory like the old people. It's very hard to understand. That's why like Vyasadeva converted, wrote the Vedas in a in written format. He divided the Vedas in 4 different Vedas like Rik, Sama, Atharva, Yajur, and he gave those Vedas to his disciples, and he thought like the less intelligent people, Sudra, he considered who are born the Brahman are who are born in a high family, but still the people who born in high family doesn't mean that they have that the full knowledge of it. So if you are born in a high family and if you're not following anything, then they will be called as like a Divija Bandhu. Okay, so those people, then Sudra people, and all those people, just to understand this knowledge, he created Mahabharata. Then apart from Mahabharata, he created a lot of 18 Puranas. So they are all part of the Vedic literature, the Puranas, Mahabharata, and 4 Vedas, and these Upanishads. The Upanishad is part of the Vedas. So the Vyasadeva summarized all the Vedic knowledge to scholars and philosophers. Even then, he was not satisfied. Even though he created all these Vedas, Puranas, Upanishad, he was not satisfied, and he personally wrote Vedanta Sutra under the instruction of Narada, his Guru Maharaj. But still he is not satisfied. So Narada instructed him, okay, then you explain the Vedanta Sutra. So Vedanta means ultimate knowledge. And the ultimate knowledge is Krishna. Krishna says throughout all the Vedas, one has to understand him. I am the compiler of Vedanta Sutra, and I am the knower of Vedas. Therefore, the ultimate object is Krishna. This is explained in all the Vaishnava commentaries of Vedanta philosophy. We Gaudiya Vaishnavas have our commentary on Vedanta philosophy called Govinda Bhashya by Baldev Vyabhushana. Similarly, Ramanacharya has a commentary and Madhavacharya has one. The version of Sankaracharya is not the only commentary. There are many Vedanta commentaries, because the Vaishnava did not present the first Vedanta commentary. People are under the wrong impression that Sankaracharya is the only Vedanta commentary. Besides that, Vyasadeva himself wrote the perfect Vedanta commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the first words of the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Asya Yataha. And that Janmadi Asya Yataha is fully explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vedanta Sutra simply hints at what is Brahman, the absolute truth. The absolute truth is that from whom everything emanates. This is the summary, but is explained in detail in Srimad Bhagavatam. If everything is emanating from the absolute truth, then what is the nature of absolute truth? That is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. The absolute truth must be consciousness. He is self-effulgent. We develop our consciousness and knowledge by receiving knowledge from others. But for him, it is stated that he is self-effulgent. The whole summary of Vedic knowledge is Vedanta Sutra, and the Vedanta Sutra is explained by the writer himself in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we try to understand this explanation, try to understand this Vedic knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So we have like very two good books. Just we need to read and understand the whole concept. I really just wanted to talk about this one in my presentation today. I know I'm not like others, because most of the people in this group they would have known this concept already, but I just wanted to start my things. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, you started your presentation by humbly saying like you didn't prepare much and you prepared only for 10 minutes. I'm not sure if you were tracking your time, but you were presenting for almost 22 minutes, Prabhu.
Seriously, Mataji.
Yeah.
I really wanted to postpone this one, but you didn't allow me to do it. If you'd have allowed me, I would have given a different presentation.
It was very nice, Prabhu.
Thanks, Mataji.
Like Lakshmi Mataji, you also covered many beautiful points. But I see like throughout your presentation, you were emphasizing the importance of Guru. That's really amazing. And I think that's the goal of having this group of devotee association every day, right? That was the intention of Lal Prabhuji, to gather all of us and know the importance of Guru and how we have to start aspiring for Guru. So your presentation was aligned with that, Prabhu. So thank you so much.
Mataji. Thank you. Lal Prabhu, any comments? Any mistakes? Anything I need to change? I think this is the first time I'm giving in my ISKCON life.
Yeah, you've been in the movement for so many years.
Yeah,
You're
wasted so many years.
not like a grandfather for many. I was, usually the saints does not speak. When they speak, it's all pearls falling out from their lotus mouth. There is one of the Arvar by name called Nammarvar. And as soon as he appeared into this world, this is in the beginning of the Kali Yuga. As soon as he appeared into this world, he went and took shelter of one tree, and then there he was speechless, motionless, but in complete in dhyana state for almost 16 years since he was born. 16 years he was not at all speaking or doing anything, but that's completely in meditation. But then there's another saint by name called Madhurakavi Alvar. So he was trying to find many answers for his questions. He is Brahmana born. Madhurakavi Alvar is a Brahmana born, whereas Nammalvar is a non-Brahman by birth. So Madhura Kavi Arvar was from south. He was traveling to find answers by going yatra to different places. On his journey, he saw he saw somewhere on the northern. He traveled all the way to the north. He even came to Vrindavan, other places. But then he was not satisfied. He couldn't find a right person who can teach him. When he turned back to the south from the north, he saw a bright light, and he was trying to find where the light is coming from. He followed and followed and followed. Finally, he came to South Tamil Nadu. So, and then he came to one particular place um, near Tirunelveli, a place called Tirunelveli. There, he finally came and he asked he found a place where he saw that under the tree this Nammarvar was sitting. That's where the light was coming from. But he was motionless. He was not talking. You don't even know whether it's alive or not. So what Madrakavi Arva did was he took a close by a pebble, a stone, small stone, to find out whether it's active or not, alive or not. He just took the stone, something in the close by, and then he threw in front of Nammarvar, in front of him. If we were it, we put it on the person only. But he was just wanting to see if he's giving some reaction to the sound. So he put in front of that Arva, and then there was a slight movement. And then he went and stood in front of him, and for the first time, he asked a question to Nammarvar. Madrakavi Arvar asked Nammarvar a question. So the question is in Tamil. I'll tell in Tamil, and then I'll try to translate it. செத்ததின் வயிற்றில் சிறியது பிறந்தால் எத்தை தின்னு எங்கே கிடக்கும்? செத்ததின் வயிற்றில் சிறியது பிறந்தால் எத்தை தின்னு எங்கே கிடக்கும்? This was the question asked by Madhura Kavi Alvar. Even Tamil speaking people cannot figure out what that means. So what to speak about me translating that one. செத்ததின் வயிற்றில் சிறியது பிறந்தால் எத்தை தின்னு எங்கே கிடக்கும் means, செத்தது means in inactive object, means a dead object. Something is born within that object, a living, and it's not a living entity, which something is appeared or born. It's so very difficult to translate certain things. I'll try. So what will that entity do for its survival? Something has appeared in his heart. A small something has appeared in his heart. What will it eat for its survival? That's a question. I don't know if anyone can even understand what the question is. It's very difficult. But then for the very first time, Nammarvar opened his lotus mouth and spoke. Attai tinnu ange kidakkum. Neither the question is understandable, nor the answer is understandable. But Namadra Kaviarvar got an answer for his question, and he fell at the feet of Nammarvar and accepted Nammarvar as his guru. And then beautiful pasrams came after that by Nammarvar. Attaitinna Ange Kadakku means, I'll just conclude this one. What he said was, a little bit of desire or an interest that appears in one's heart will make that person for his survival for the rest of his life. That little bit of interest is nothing but bhakti. Little bit of interest, and I want to know what is going on here. I like to know what Krishna is, what is life after, what is why am I born here, and some inquisitive questions appears, especially interest towards spirituality, interest towards Krishna. That Siriyadu means minute, a small one, small inquisitiveness, small interest or a desire that comes into the heart is the survival part for the Jivatma to progress in Krishna consciousness. This is the response given by Nammarvar to Madhura Kaviarvar. Madhura Kavi was so happy, and I am so happy that from your mouth, after all the several years, you never spoke. After many, many years, you were speaking for the first time, and then it's like Rama was speaking for the first time. So thanks for presenting us a beautiful thing, and it was natural the way that you presented. It was nice, and the more you speak, the tongue get more familiarized and purified. So take this an opportunity to purify oneself, our own tongue. And also, I want to, if you don't mind, I want to go back to Lakshmi is one point on the and then which I waited until end because I don't want to take the time of all of you. And by the way, Bhaskar is a perfect candidate to be a speaker. Why? Because he said initially, I did not prepare. That's how speakers usually say. They will say, I'll finish it in 10 minutes. That's how speakers will say. They will follow nothing of those things, right? They will go beyond their given time. They will talk every. So, Bhaskar, you're the perfect candidate to be a speaker in future. Continue speaking like this. Now, Lakshmi said that one point she said was the consistency in Krishna consciousness and thinking that I'm doing it for Krishna. If you're trying to think that you are the doer, you're trying to do yourself, that's not good. I would just want to say another story where there was a Brahmana. The Brahmana was very punctual, getting up in the morning by 4 o'clock and taking care of whatever he needs to do in the morning, and then start doing his anushtanam, his practices of devotional service, puja, and all the different things, sandhya, vandana, everything. So he's very never failed to do this one, and he's quite happy about it. So he was doing for several years. One day he was tired. Whatever the reason, he was tired. And he didn't even realize the time is now is 3:30, 3:40, 3:45. So it was getting closer for his get a time to start doing his worship. Worship. So at that point of time, while he was sleeping, someone patted him, tapped him, and shook him and said, "Hey, it's getting late. You have to get up for your Mangalarti. You have to go. You have to do your services. Get up, get up, get up." And when he opened his eyes, he realized he just have another 20 minutes left for it to go and get ready and do things. He just jumped out of his, bed. Again, those days they don't use the bed on the floor. So he got up out of the bed and then got ready and right on time. Just left 1 minute. He just entered the altar. He was able to perform everything very nicely. Then after finishing everything, then he had a big relief. He thought, I would have missed this one. Then he realized, I live by myself. Who is this person came and woke me up? There shouldn't be anyone else who can come and wake me up in my house because house is closed and I live by myself. So he went back to the room to see who that person, if the person is still there, and the person was still there. Interesting, he was sitting there and waiting there. So he went and asked, "Who are you?" And thank you. First of all, he said, "Thank you so much. You saved my practices. I'm feeling content now. I'm so very happy now, etc., etc." Then he said, may I know who you are?" And the response was quite interesting. The personality said, I'm Kali Purusha. Kali Purusha. Come on, I thought it should be, you all must have been expecting maybe it's Krishna himself came or some Devata, whatever it is. It's a Kali Purusha. Kali Purusha does not do these good jobs. They will make us sleep. They will make us lazy. They will find an opportunity for us to not do what we are doing now. Any good thing, they try to become an obstacle, try to put an obstacle in what we are trying to do. Whereas this Brahmana was quite surprised. Brahmana was quite surprised. He asked that, what really are you, Kali Purusha? Yes, I'm Kali Purusha. Then why did you wake me up? Rather, you should have made me to sleep extra hours, made me comfortable. And then Kali Purusha gave an interesting response saying, look, the only way that I can pull you down is to continue to have your identity and ego that you're doing great. You've been always having the pride in you that no one does these things except me. Look at me. I've been doing this for several years. And look at that Prabhuji, Lakshmi Mataji, she never comes online now. You had this the idea about how great you are trying to do devotional service very perfectly. So I want you to continue having that pride in you and ego in you so that it's easy for me to pull down. If I let you sleep today, then you will feel guilty of missing out one day and the pride will go. you'll become humble. Therefore, I want you to continue the way that you are in your consciousness of doing your service with that egoistic nature, with pride in your heart. That means you can soon fall down. So the message is very important for all of us. We are not doing services, we are not getting up, we are not reading, we are not chanting out of our strength. We need to know that it's all Krishna who's making us to do this thing. And we beg and pray to Krishna that please help me to be in an humble state of mind, to do what I'm doing as a service to you. It is only because of you I'm getting up. It's only because of you I'm able to make movements on my lips to chant your name. It's you who make me chant. It's you who make me do whatever I am able to do in my Krishna consciousness. Make me dance, make me dance, make me dance, as Prabhupada said. Complete dependency in Krishna's mercy. We are not able to do anything otherwise without Krishna's mercy. In that consciousness, we do the best that we could do. So that's another story I just wanted to add to Lakshmi's point. Thank you, Amala Radhika Mataji. Thank you, Lakshmi and Bhaskar. It was beautiful. Amala Radhika Mataji, Bhakti.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Lakshmi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Master Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you,
joining.
Baskar Prabhuji, for full share.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you all tomorrow at 5 a.m. Central. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare